Hey guys, I'm Disney Dad, and today in this video, I'm going to talk about the best ways to cut costs on your next trip to Disneyland. Just want to start off quickly by saying for some of you, cutting costs might be the only way you can afford a trip to Disneyland. For others, saving money might not be a necessity, but it helps you splurge in other areas like enjoying a nice sit-down restaurant or extending your Disney trip by a couple days. Regardless of your circumstances, at least some of these recommendations for saving money on your Disneyland vacation should come in handy. Not all of these things will be for everyone, but on the other hand, cost cutting isn't wise when it's at the expense of the fundamental experience of Disney World. So if you cut things that are important to you, don't be surprised if the amount of fun you have decreases. Saving money is a sacrifice. That being said, let's get started with my first suggestion, which is skipping the rental car. The reasons for recommending that you skip a rental car are twofold. First, the obvious, if you don't rent a car, you don't have to pay for a rental. And second, more and more hotels near Disneyland are charging for parking. And these fees can range from $10 to $24 per night. Only a few years ago, free parking at hotels was the general rule. Now it's the exception. Using an Uber between John Wayne Airport and Disney area hotels is about $20 each way. Or you can use the Super Shuttle if you're arriving from LAX. Once you arrive, it's highly likely that the hotel will be in walking distance to the park. Even if it's not, you can always use the Anaheim Resort Transportation ART Bus. It's pretty simple and cost effective. If all else fails, an Uber or Lyft ride should only be about $5 to the park. Number 2 on the list is skip the park hopper. Like I said in the beginning of the video, some sacrifices might be too great and actually decrease the overall fun. For me, this is that sacrifice, and it's something we would not personally do, given that Disneyland and California Adventure are 5 minutes apart by foot, and the ability to bounce back and forth between parks is huge. A lot of resources offering advice to save money at Disneyland highly suggest ditching the park hopper. From an objective perspective, they're totally right. Cost of the park hopper does add up, and you might be able to save over $200 or more by skipping the park hopper option. This option could be a huge asset though, and you should really figure out how important it would be for you before you're making this decision to cut it. On the flip side, many guests, especially those with young kids, aren't staying late at night anyway and calling it an early night rather than park hopping to the park that's open latest each night, so it's not going to really be a big deal to skip the park hopper option. And if you're tight on a budget, consider how important park hopping is to you and whether you can do without it. Number 3 on my list is to drink lots of water. And let me explain what I mean by this and how it'll save you money. Large drinks at Disneyland are over $3 each, and if you're a soda addict like me, you could be spending $10 or more per day on soda. If you need the caffeine, get your fill of coffee in the morning from the hotel or get your fix at restaurants offering free refills. Don't forget, you can get free water, hot or cold, from counter service restaurants. Also, I highly recommend bringing a metal refillable bottle. Here's one I highly recommend and I use personally, and I love it. This stainless steel water bottle that I use is a wide mouth 40-ounce bottle, and it can either keep liquids hot or cold with a double wall vacuum insulated sweat-proof design. And by using a vacuum insulated bottle, I mean if you put ice water in the beginning of the day in this bottle, by the end of the day, 8, 9, 10 hours later, that water will still have ice in it. It's unbelievable how cold these vacuum sealed bottles keep the water. This way, you're not spending $4 or $5, even $6 on a bottle of water while you're at the park. And like I said, you can get free ice cold water from the refreshment stands to fill up your bottle. Going back to drinking a lot of water, you can actually extend that a little bit further and skip the alcohol. This would be even a bigger saving than just drinking water. Picking up some beer while you're at the grocery store, you can unwind by the pool with a cold brew and not pay those high hotel prices. Number 4 is cut a day from the park. Unlike Walt Disney World, where there are 20+ resort hotels and a wealth of things to do on property outside the park, yes, there is downtown Disney, and I highly recommend that you can spend some time there, but these options are better viewed as a way to spend a few hours than it is to spend a whole day. One of the things that are lacking in Florida around Orlando area is beaches, so I highly recommend if you want to take one of the days off of going to the park, you could head over by taking an Uber or Lyft to one of the local beaches and have a day at the beach for a very low cost. Or 4, and I kind of touched on this a little earlier, and that's to buy groceries for your hotel room. Unlike Florida, when there's a lot of Disney-centric grocery delivery options, you don't really have that same option over the Disneyland resorts. The main reason why these services don't exist is because they aren't really necessary. Within walking distance of the most popular hotels are large Walgreens and CVS superstores. These can be found in less than 15-minute walking distance from the park, and you can find most things you need at these stores. I really recommend that you take the time to visit some of these stores, stock up on some snacks for the park and some treats for when you're at home. Also, like I said, great time to buy alcohol for the hotel. Just relying on hotel food or Disneyland food can get quite expensive, so this really does help. Heading up next on the list is to get a discount ticket. Don't always have to pay full price for a Disneyland ticket. They often have special prices released throughout the year. They also offer specially priced tickets to active and retired US military personnel, and also they do things through AAA where you can get discounts. But be careful to avoid illegitimate sellers. Scammers on Craigslist and other websites have been known to deliver fake tickets. Before buying, check out the seller's online reviews and look for accreditation such as the Better Business Bureau. There's a lot of information in this video and I hope it can help you save some money, because I know Disneyland and Disney World are getting more expensive as time goes on. So we all need some tips on how to save money so we can keep going to Disney. Thanks guys, make sure you smash that like button, it really helps out this channel, and subscribe down below.